Raise awareness about sickle cell because most of the people in Canada don't know what sickle cell is.
Sickle cell disease is a blood disorder that is inherited from both parents. This disorder is more common in certain ethnic groups, such as African Americans, Arabs, Greeks, Italians, Latin, and Native Americans. Normal red blood cells are very flexible and are circular in shape, resembling a donut. Their flexibility and shape allow them to travel freely through small blood vessels called capillaries. In persons with sickle cell disease, the red blood cells become crescent or sickle shaped and also become inflexible. The abnormal cells stick inside the capillaries, blocking blood flow to vital organs. Persons with sickle cell anemia can have symptoms such as yellow appearing eyes and skin, pale skin, delayed growth, bone and joint pain, increased risk for infections, development of leg ulcers, eye damage, anemia, and damage to the organs affected by the obstruction.
What up, what up, what up? East Coast, West Coast, North, South, worldwide, YouTube family, Sickle Cell Warriors family. Welcome to another episode of Our Sickle Life. My name is Ulyss. I have today with me Alvin and Shelly. You guys know Shelly. And Alvin is a friend of ours that also have sickle cell. Shelly has known Alvin for a long time. I've known Alvin for a few years now. And so Alvin, welcome to the show and say hi to our viewers.
Hello, viewers.
Yeah, and let them know
It's
a little bit about you.
it's a pleasure to finally be on my Sickle Life.
I'm trying to get him to come and do this for a while, and stubborn, and I had to beat him down. And
What this is a kidnapping. Call for help.
Alright, so let's
Tell
be
us
serious
your
for a minute. So
story.
yeah, let us know a little bit about you, what type of sickle cell do you have, and how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I have SS, sickle, SS, what was that? Heterozygous sickle cell?
Yeah, it's SS is both. So on the side of your parents, your dad has the sickle cell gene and your mom has the sickle cell gene. That becomes SS.
Absolutely.
So I have S beta thalassemia. So my mom has thalassemia. My dad has the S trait. So that's how it becomes beta thalassemia. You have.
SS, sorry, SS.
All right.
I was like, for real?
Brain
Anyway,
fart, sorry.
so basically that's what it is. And how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when I was 2. Had my first crisis when I was 6. Multiple crisis. 6 months. Sorry, 6 months. I had my very first crisis when I was 6 months old, and again, multiple crisis up until that point, and then they found out when I was 2 that I have sickle cell. At that point, my parents made the decision, like most parents do in the Caribbean, to.
So you were diagnosed back home.
I was born in St. Kitts. I stayed there until I was 6, 7ish. Then came to Canada, but I was diagnosed at 2 years old. And then they came here, like most parents, looking for better healthcare and a better life and a better way of life for their children who might have sickle cell. Since that point, since coming to Canada, I've been through a few crises.
Say the least.
There have been some scares. There have been some very heavy moments. And but there's some good moments, like meeting Shelly, meeting Ulyss, the birth of Ari, the birth of Ari.
We go way back.
yeah, so I've just been through a lot.
Are you bionic in any way, like some of us are? Like,
what do you mean by bionic?
so we joke around and say, you know, because some of us have had parts replaced and stuff. Like, I haven't had a full replacement. I have a rod. You've had a replacement.
Yeah.
You have a full replacement?
Full hip replacement.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one here.
I have had both my hips replaced, plus also the right one has been revised. So in other words, I've had a replacement of the replacement. That's how many years ago I had my original replacement. I have so again, full hip replacements, full shoulder replacements, no gallbladder. Yeah.
Organs that have failed, organs that no longer work.
There is no gallbladder. My spleen does not work. Autosplenectomy. Other than that, the rest of them work, but one of them did fail on me for 4 days. Made life interesting. Liver failure.
So, in a nutshell, how do you overcome all those obstacles in that life through that
you don't overcome any obstacle. The obstacle stays with you your whole life. What you do is you grow through the obstacle, because quite literally that's what we have to do. In the case of all of us who have ever had a part replaced
Or removed or fixed.
but
or
whatever,
yeah.
like, or if it's been that bad, we know that we have to then start to learn how to use that part all over again.
Yeah.
So it's you like a kid who learned how to walk, that's growing. Like a child learning how to do something, that's growing. We learn every day how to live with this disease. That's what we do. We learn every day. When we're all young, we all know that we've done the thing about we don't need to have on as many layers, or we don't need to drink as much water, or we don't need to take our pills. And then we grow through that, because guess what? You go to the hospital often
learn
enough.
hard. If you don't feel, you will learn. Mommy, that's for you. If you don't feel, you will learn.
Or any other black mom that has ever said the exact same thing to their child.
Oh,
that one's for you. You don't hear, must feel. So yeah, the obstacles, I'm not one of those people that always need to name things like positively, so I don't want to call it like challenges that I've learned from. Some things are just obstacles, like stupid doctors are stupid doctors. That's an obstacle. Get that out of the way.
A big one.
Get that out of the way. If you can get a stupid doctor out of your way, get out of your way. You can't grow through a stupid doctor.
Well, how would you define a stupid doctor?
Has he not told you what a stupid doctor is?
No, but what's your definition of a stupid doctor? A stupid doctor for me, a stupid doctor for you, a stupid doctor for you might be different. So
And don't be offended. I mean, we're all friends here. But by saying stupid doctor, what we mean is somebody who is difficult to deal with, somebody who poses
Ignorant.
a lot of challenge and who's ignorant to our needs.
That's the number one thing.
But there's to me, when I okay, so maybe I have to watch my language a little bit more. Thank you both for reminding me.
No, I mean,
But here's
it
the
is
thing.
what it is,
Here's the
right?
thing. The majority of them, especially for people like us, I don't know what it's going to be like for someone who's just having a sickler child now growing up. The majority of doctors we've dealt with in our lifetime were ignorant up to a point.
Yeah.
Now, to me, now I gotta use a word like difficult.
Stupid doctor.
Yeah.
Difficult and stuff like that, is one who, after receiving new information, still refuses to grow through the situation.
Refuses to grow.
Thanks for dovetailing that. Refuses to grow. At that point, they end up in my category of
Hashtag stupid doctor.
Hashtag stupid doctor. Our Sickle Life stupid doctor.
It's like, please drop your comment down below. Let us know your experiences with the stupid doctor.
I am so sorry I just created
It's
that.
okay. Hey,
But-
let's get it trending in the sickle cell community.
Hashtag
Right?
stupid doctor.
Yeah.
No
but
more.
No more stupid doctors.
No more.
Even
Hashtag
no
no more
more.
stupid doctor.
Stupid doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will support that fully. So certain things are not
And let
always.
us know your experiences. Sorry for interrupting, but hashtag it and let us know your experience with a stupid doctor. You can send it to our Instagram, Facebook, and leave a
You know
comment
what?
here.
Can I ask for something?
Sure.
In fact, I know what they just asked you for. I would like to hear of the doctors who are not stupid doctors. Because I think if you share that in this community, that might actually be way better.
Yeah.
No, you might have a bit of both. Like, you definitely point us in the directions
we'd like
we want to
hear
stay away
both,
from.
Definitely.
But if you have
It's-
some good doctors and nurses, because I will be quite blunt right now, I believe the nurses are way more important than the doctors. Right? The doctor sees you, like, if we're being honest, even a good doctor, not even, I would say, what, an hour every 2 days at the most would be a good doctor.
Yeah.
Right?
In a hospital setting.
In a hospital setting. In a
Acute
hospital setting, right? Even if it's, well, merge lasts for 24 hours and then you go to medicine. Okay, so cool. In the first, like, so you're talking about 2.5 hours a week is what a doctor might see you at if they're a good doctor, giving you a half an hour each day. I'm pushing it with that.
Yeah.
Right? So 2.5 hours in a week, and the nurse is doing a 12-hour shift, and you might have her for 2-3 days at a time.
Yeah.
So
That's why we love nurses. Hashtag we love you, nurses.
quite literally.
Yeah.
So
There's been
yeah,
some amazing nurses in my life.
and
And
let's
I'm-
get that trending.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
So what is it? Hashtag what?
Amazing nurses.
Nurses
Yeah.
Week is coming up,
Yes.
Right,
So let's
so-
get that going.
so that's a good thing. But yeah, like,
But the thing about it is like the nurses get to interact with us more often,
yeah.
and then also the nurses become your advocate.
Yeah.
The nurses that the good ones, they become like, you know, your advocate. They actually understand what you're going through. They don't judge, no judgment. They
Or even
they
if
deal with
it
you
is-
as a human being,
Yeah.
and it's not about color, race, creed, sex, gender. It's not about like nothing. It's just about taking care of you the right way,
Yeah.
and that's what a good nurse is.
Yeah, but even if they do have a bit of ignorance or they don't really understand or whatever in the beginning, if they're willing to learn and grow, that makes an awesome nurse. Because, like I was saying, I've had some experiences with amazing nurses, and I've had some experience with horrible nurses, but I've had experiences with nurses that might be a little bit more on the ignorant side. That to me, the fact that they will sit on the edge of your bed and listen to you for 20 minutes to understand where you're coming from, that transforms them into that next category for me. Like, I had an experience in the hospital in Emerge with a doctor that, a nurse who came in, and he was like, honestly, I don't think you need this, and I don't think whatever, and you know, like with pain meds and stuff like that. And I was like, listen, let me be very honest with you. It is like 3 o'clock in the morning. I have a daughter who needs to be at school and be prepped and whatever for school. And I have a life, and I don't want to be here. And if I am here, you better believe it's because I have no options. And I'm like, you know, clearly you don't know a lot about sickle cell. And I get that. But why don't you let me explain to you why it is, like, you know, and he was willing to hear. And, you know, I told him about it, and he was, you know, more receptive, and he was like, oh, okay. And then I actually told him, you know, we have a YouTube channel that we use to try to educate people. You know, I said the things that I've been through in my life, I would never wish on anyone, you know, and I'm here at your mercy. You know, and you're telling me here, I'm in tears bawling, and I'm telling you that I need your help, but you're not helping me. Like, what can I do for you to understand where I'm coming from? You know, and started asking about the channel and about whatever. You know, he left my room, went, got on his phone or whatever, looked at stuff on our channel and looked some stuff up that I told him about. You know, in terms of my hemoglobin came back, it was really low. He came in and he looks at me, he's like, I am so sorry. And to me, that humility to be able to humble yourself and say, you know what, I get it, and now I can now sympathize with you. That makes a difference in the healthcare system with nurses and doctors who are willing to learn from us, just as we need to learn from you. And it's a relationship that is give and take, you know. But to walk in and just be #stupid, you know, and not willing to listen to somebody who from 6 months has been sick, and from 2 years old was diagnosed, from 4 years old was diagnosed, from 2 years old was diagnosed and has lived with this their whole life and can educate you better than any textbook can about what their body goes through and what their body's needs are, it makes a difference in the level of care you're able to give to the people that come after us.
So that's a good segue. I wanted to ask the question. It's like, how do we work together with the healthcare providers, so that the issues that we face, how can we how can we come together so that we can impact one another, so that we can change that perspective, so that we don't have to go through, I'm 42 now, so it's like, I wouldn't want somebody that at Aries age, Aries 10 years old, that has sickle cell, that's going through the same thing I went through, and I'm still going through right now. I wouldn't want that.
But they are going through that. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I want sickle cell to go to another level. Whatever we went through, they should not be able to go through that. It's 2018. It's 2018. 2018. The information is out there, right? So people should not be ignorant about what sickle cell is. So how can we bring a solution to this issue? You might as well ask me how to unite black people, though.
Well, it's the same thing.
Black Panther, baby.
No, but honestly,
it's changing the dialogue.
What do we need to do to change the narrative about sickle cell?
I'll let her go first.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there needs to be a dialogue. There needs to be a give and a take, and we need doctors. We need doctors to stop and humble themselves. And I say that not to be rude, not to be disrespectful, because I have the utmost respect for doctors, because without them I would not be here. Let's be honest. I have mad respect for doctors and for nurses. Some more than others. Let's get that clear also. But to not think that you know it all, and to humble yourself and to listen to this person who, like I said earlier, has been going through this their whole lives, and to want to actually take in what they're saying and not just think everybody is in one category or falls into one box,
What would you say?
How do we change?
How do we change the narrative about sickle cell? The awareness, how do we make it be global? Because people don't know about sickle cell. They know about cancer, they know about diabetes. They even know about fibromyalgia. You know what I'm saying? How do we make sickle cell, how do we change the narrative so that we, our generation, the next generation don't go through the same thing that we went through?
Those are two separate questions.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's a little bit convoluted.
No, hold on. He asked two specific questions. The one question is, how do we change the narrative? And then, how do we change the narrative? And the second one was, how do we get it out there? This is hard for me because I've had this conversation with these two before, so I'll get straight to it. The narrative, to me, has to change with us first.
Yeah.
So with us first, it's got to go from shame to just...
This is what it is.
It's okay, I got to remember this is a PC channel. It needs to get coming out and saying you have cancer. I almost said something way crasser. It's got to be that simple. It's got to be walking up to somebody and being like, "Hi, my name is Alvin." Right? That's it. That's it. The person's like, "All right, cool." That's the narrative change. The narrative change has to happen where we take it from a point of shame to a point of, well, not hiding, being just getting it out there, getting it out there that that's what it is. It exists. It is not a shameful thing.
No,
it's been forced on us that it's a black people disease, and with that they also made it a shameful thing. So that's one. The other is I think impossible for a lot of reasons. I don't know how political you guys get on this channel, but my personal beliefs is medicine is money. Sickle cell does not make money, nor will it make money. We are slowly shrinking in size as a population globally. But the overall awareness of sickle cell. When it comes to the global awareness and stuff like that, and especially in this era right now, I just personally think that money is medicine, and hey, until we start to make the money,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on that? How do we change the narrative about sickle cell, and how do we raise the awareness on a global scale? Drop your comments down below. I would like to hear from you. I think one of the, like you said, to echo what you said, is like, you know, if from us, it has to start with us. If we can come out, like, you know, let's just an example, like, you know, when you go to like a AA meeting, you know, I'm out and
Yeah.
I'm, you know,
That's a
I'm
good
an alcoholic, you know. So to come out like that,
We do at our support group.
so to come out like that, and then to say, like, you know what, you know, I'm Ulysses, I have sickle cell, and people will ask you what it is, so that you start the education from one person to one person, each one teach one.
Yeah, I find myself doing that a
that's
lot,
the beginning.
actually.
That's the beginning
Yeah.
stage, right? So when it comes from, it starts from us, and then we go to healthcare providers, and then we go to the government level. That way we can actually raise it to get to the global stage. But it has, I really echo with you, it has to start with us. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You know, this conversation was real, and you know, we had a lot of perspective, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to drop us a comment. Let us know how you feel about this episode. What are your thoughts? What are your experiences? You know, let's keep this conversation going. And don't forget to share it with your friends, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Subscribe here.
And turn on the notifications so you'll be notified when we upload more videos.